No matter what you're going through in life, no matter what you're doing, worship helps in every area of your life, does it not? And we see this. If you're new here, you come for a few weeks, I guarantee you'll see it, if you haven't seen it today. If you've been here for at least a few weeks, I know you guys have seen it. Worship breaks chains, heals marriages, heals lives. When you're dead, God revives you, does he not? And a lot of times, it's through worship. And why? Because music is so powerful. The preaching does a lot too. They are side by side, the preaching, prayer, and worship. They are all right there. But today we're talking about music, so that's kind of why I wanted to go there. But it does. We've seen this throughout everything of our life. And even if you just watch YouTube videos about worship, you see it. You just see how much people are happy when they leave worship, do they not? Like every worship service that I've ever been to, no one's left like, well, I guess I'm going to go home. They don't ever do that, do they? They're hyped up. They're energized. Let's look at January 28th. Who went to the worship thing down at West Rome? Did anybody feel sad or down when they left? What were you? Excited? Energy? Jubilee? It's pretty amazing, wasn't it? You know why? You weren't at a concert. You were at a worship service. God was in there. And there's just something different about it. It's not the lyrics. It's not the music itself. It's the spirit that's in each song. And God puts his spirit inside of it. And so I want to kind of go here. God created music to do every one of these things. That's what he basically did. And did you know music was created before even the universe? Honestly. Because when we look at it, hold on, I got the wrong paper. When we look at it, Job 38, 4 and 7. 4 says this: where were you when I, meaning God, laid the foundations of the earth? So that means the beginning, right? The very start, the very build of the earth. Well, we know that he created the heavens and the earth at the same time, right? So it's in that universe area. So 7 says this: when the morning stars sang together, all the sons of God shouted for joy. So that tells us a few things. One, God created everything, and we know that. But two, there were songs when he created the universe, not just the earth. Because Genesis 1:16 says, he made the stars and was on the fourth day. So that tells me that even before we were created, there was song. God created song, right? Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like it just was there. It's part of the air. I mean, when you listen to the wind, how many sing in the shower? How many think they sound good in the shower? Do you guys know why? Well, it's not the acoustics. Think about it. The water, because you can sing in the bathroom, but when you sing in the shower, it's different, because each water drop has a different note. So all the notes, and this is just throughout my experience of music and looking at it, I've always been like, how come all these people think they can sing really good in the shower, and then you get them out of it and they don't think they can sound good? That's got to be it. You know, you've got like these things that, you know, some people say, well, they sound good with other people, but they don't sound good separate. So the water drops are kind of like, you've got all these notes around you, so you can sing really well. That's one of the best places, I think, that people can really sing to God. Why? Because you think you sound good. When you think you sound good, or you do sound good, let's go that route instead. When you do sound good, you're going to do what? Sing more, sing harder, sing louder, right? So what's that do with your spirit? Starts building it up, and you're just like filled with joy by the time you get out of the shower, right? So it's pretty cool. So let's go back here. So needless to say, we know that God created music before he created us. So now we look at the end times. Revelation 5 says that 4 living creatures and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each holding a harp, and they sang a new song. So what does that tell us? To me, that tells me that in the end times, we're going to sing. So throughout all of life, all we're doing is singing. We're giving praise. We're giving worship to God. Are we not? Right? Okay. So as a musician, this excites me because I love listening to music. I love playing music. I love creating music. It's part of my life, if you guys don't know that already. So it was written on a German opera house. This is what someone wrote, and it made perfect sense when I read it. Bach. Everybody know who Bach is? Like one of those opera guys, I think, or classical guys, right? It says, Bach gave us God's word. Beethoven gave us God's fire. Mozart gave us God's laughter. God gave us music so that we may pray without words. So just listening to a guitar or listening to a piano playing, knowing that's the spirit behind it, does it not sound different? Does it? When you're reading the word or you're praying, and we see this a lot when Dad gets up here and talks, sometimes I'll play in the background. Does that not make a difference? Does that not set the atmosphere completely different? It's all music. It's all about worshiping God. So as we go back and look at what worship does, how it breaks chains, I want to take us to Acts 16, 25 to 30. And I got the NIV version. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to be pretty similar. And this is what it says. It was when Paul and Silas were in the prison. And this is kind of what it says. About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God. And the other prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly, there was a violent earthquake that the foundations of the prison were shaken. At once, all the prison doors flew open, and everyone's chains came loose. The jailer woke up, and when he saw the prison doors open, he drew his sword and was about to kill himself because he thought the prisoners had escaped. But Paul shouted, "Don't harm yourself. We are all here." The jailer called for lights, rushed in, and fell trembling before Paul and Silas. He then brought them out and asked, "Sir, what must I do to get saved?" So to me, that tells me a few different things. They were in a hard time, right? I mean, if you're in jail, it's pretty hard to me. You're at a low point. Well, they were chained up, and I'm going to use this kind of illustration because this is something that I saw. A guy, his name's Cody Carney. He's Carrie Job's husband. He spoke on this a little bit one day, and I saw it. And he did this. He was like, they were chained up. They were chained to that wall. And what'd they do? It says in 25 that they were praying and singing hymns, right? Well, they did that for a little bit, and then they got louder, and they kept doing it. They didn't stop. They didn't just begin to sing. They kept doing it. God, I'm sure they just didn't say, "Hallelujah," and the chains broke, did they? I'm sure not. I'm sure it took a while. So they sang, and they kept singing and praying and singing and praying and singing and praying. And finally, that earthquake happened, right? I believe the earthquake happened because they kept praying and they kept singing to God. They didn't sing to themselves. They didn't sing to the prisoners. They sang to God, right? They said, "Holy, holy is the Lord." I'm positive. I can just see it now. I could see the Spirit just run through that place, and God just tell them, "Keep singing, keep praying. It's okay." Do we not do that? Or do we just wallow in whatever we're in? Do we forget to keep praising when we're going through a hard time? Or do we only praise Him when we're on a high? When we're like, "Oh, God's working through our life. I'm good. I'm going to sing praise." But then let's just say something happens, car breaks down, and you got to spend a ton of money on a car, right? And so just throughout marriage and throughout watching mom and dad kind of counsel with people and dad counsel with some guys, I've seen money is one of the main factors to problems in marriage. It's always fighting about money or doing, So when you have a hard time like that, your car breaks down, you got to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars to get it fixed. Puts a hardship, right? Whether it's just for that week or whatever, you got a hardship. And so if we sing praises, not sing Molly Hatchet or not sing Taylor Swift, but we sing praises, we sing worship. Everybody's got a smartphone, right? Or pretty close to it, right? So we can always listen to music on our phones. You can go to YouTube. YouTube has a ton. You can look up like a place called the Upper Room Worship Mob, and they've got videos that last 30, 40 minutes. So if you're on a long drive down to like Marietta or something, put one of them on and you can just listen to it. Just sitting in that presence of somebody singing or playing helps your spirit. It builds your attitude up because afterwards you're like, man, that was good. That was really good. So they were in this hard time and they just kept singing, and God saved them. But here's the other cool part. When we go down farther, the jailer was going to kill himself because he knew he was in trouble. He knew it. But through them singing, it says that the prisoners were listening, right? Pretty sure the jailer heard them too. If all the prisoners can hear him, pretty sure the jailers can hear him too. So it was already a seed that was planted, a seed that kept, building a little bit. And so after the chain had broken, he went up to Paul and Silas and said, what must I do to get saved? So that alone tells me that God uses worship music to help bring people to him, help get them saved, help get them to where they're at the breaking point of, okay, God, something's got to give. Something's got to happen. That's it. I'm surrendering all to you. So I just want to go real quick to when we go to, I was talking earlier about country songwriters and rock songwriters and punk and all these different ones. And then there's worship. And this is how I see it. You've got all them genres, and then you got worship. And worship's like its complete own deal. And so this is a guy, his name's Jeremy Riddle. He's from Bethel Church in Redding, California. One of the top guys nowadays for songwriting, for worship, for the church. He writes with a lot of people. We do some of their songs. And this is what he said. He said, all those rock songs, all those country songs, what do? They tell a story, right? But what does worship songs do? What does Christian songs do? They tell a message. They tell a gospel, do they not? To me, that hits me hard because it's like, okay, do I want to be one of those songwriters that just, hey, I'm just going to tell a story of a guy that, lost everything and then got it all back? No, I want to be one of them guys that God uses to write songs so that God can use me to help break chains of the city, to help break chains of the church. And so through writing songs that share a message and not just a story, that's a big difference to me. That's a huge difference to me. And it's amazing. So the next thing I want to look at is how many of you listen to the radio and it's not Christian while your kids are in the car? Okay, no one raised their hands. Well, I used to. And then I used to sing this song. It's a country song. It's called Granddaddy's Gun. And I really connected with it. And so there for like a year, I was singing it to my daughter and my son to get them down for bed. And so then I started noticing that they kept asking for that song. And so God started convicting me, and then I heard them sing it, and I was like, it's not like a terrible song, but should they be singing that? I don't want them to. I would rather want them to sing God's Not Dead or Chain Breaker or Old Church Choir. So every day now that I'm off on the fire department, I get to go pick up my kids at like 3 o'clock. And I take them home and I give them a bath. And so my son walks upstairs every time because he knows, hey, it's bath time. And when we get up there, he tells me to turn on the blue speaker, so I'll turn it on. The only song that they want to hear now is Old Church Choir. And let me tell you, them kids get down. Talk about dancing. Oh, my goodness. And then my son, he's just something. And then I get the two. Zachary will get done. He'll go to his room to get dressed, and Hadassah will get in there. Well, then they're fighting to see who can listen to the music louder than the other. And it's great. But so that's the thing. What do we want our kids to sing or listen to? Do we want them to listen to Tears on My Guitar? Teardrops on My Guitar, whatever it is. Or Stairway to Heaven? Hotel California? Or what about Flirting with Disaster? Probably not good songs for them to listen to or sing, right? Because we see now generation, a lot of kids, they start singing that music, and it's not good, is it? It heads them down a wrong path. You know, when I played that song today and Dad said that about all he sees is blood, that's the path that my kids would go down if I let them listen to that. If I let them sing that stuff. They're going to feel the music, and then they're going to get deeper into that stuff. And it'll go from one song to the next song to the next song to the next song. And if they ever decide to take my route and do songwriting or do music, do I want them going out singing those songs? No. I want them up here with me. I want them to sing the songs that God gives me and that God gives the people of the church. Because that's our next generation. And we want to make sure that they're living right and they're walking right? Because we see a lot of kids, they grow up in church and then they just veer off, right? But we don't want that. And so if we keep with, okay, we're going to train ourselves, we're going to listen to worship music, we're going to pray it, we're going to pray the Psalms, we're going to sing the Psalms. Just being a musician doesn't mean that you can't sing the Psalms. How many have sung a psalm before? Like from the Bible, opened it up and sung it. Try it if you haven't tried it. Doesn't matter what it sounds like. God loves it. That's what those were made for. They weren't just made to read and to study off of. David sung them. David sung his prayers to the Lord. And that's what we need to do. You know, maybe you've got a prayer closet in your house. Well, maybe go in one day, instead of just praying like you usually do, maybe sing to God. God, just give everything to him. Just lay it all down and say, okay, God, this may not sound good, but I want to sing. I want to sing to you. I want to tell you, hey, forgive me for my sin. Or maybe it's just as simple as I love you. Sing it to him. He wants that. He loves it. Absolutely loves it. So we need to start getting our ear tuned to not just the music, but the sound of God, right? And to me, the sound of God is worship. The sound of God is praying. The sound of God is preaching the gospel all over, discipling. Ephesians 5:19 says, speak to one another with psalm, hymns, and songs from the Spirit. Sing and make music from your heart to the Lord. So I want to challenge each and every one of you today to try it. Try it this week. Go home, go outside of these walls and go, okay, what I did a long time ago when I was in I wouldn't say glory days. I didn't really have glory days so much, but I did have a time period where I wasn't living for God fully. And so I used to cuss when I was in school and stuff. And so it was about 8th grade, I think. And I grew up and I said, okay, God, I want people to hear your sound through me. So I decided one day, and this is just a small area. I said, okay, God, I'm done cussing. No more. I'm done. And he changed it. He changed it that day. Never said one ever since. And I haven't fully lived for God since then, but I never went back to that because I said, God, I want my sound to be your sound. I want my words to be your words. And so I challenge you today, this week, go out, maybe take a chance. And I don't know if everybody still does presets on their car or not. I do. Set like the first two. And what I did this one day, I wanted to completely get rid of all the other ones. So I went in my wife's car and I did the first one 90.3, second one 91.7. And I didn't know anymore, so I just went third one 90.3, fourth 91.7, fifth 90.3. Like I just did that going all the way down because I'm one of these that'll go down the road and hit it. No, don't like that song. Don't like that song. I'll go all the way through and then go back again. So I challenge you this week, do that. Don't listen to the secular music. Listen to godly music. Listen to the worship. And just see if there's a difference in your attitude. If there's not a difference in your attitude, just scrap it and don't ever do it again. Honestly. But I guarantee you'll change it. You will change and go, man, I've noticed a difference. I've noticed a difference in my life. Noticed a difference in my marriage, in my relationship with my kids, with my coworkers. It's pretty cool. You can go around singing and you just get that one song inside of your heart God puts in there and you just start singing it like crazy and it just goes on and on and on and that's all you hear, right? And I got to the point now where I wake up singing a song and don't even realize that I'm singing it until I get into the bathroom. Then I'm like, what am I singing? And it's all worship. But that's what I did. I said, God, that's what I want. I want a new song birthed inside of me. You don't have to be a songwriter or a musician to have a new song. God gives each and every one of you a new song inside of you. All you got to do is ask for it. Say, God, that's what I want. I want to live for you. I want to worship you. I want to sing for you. I want to be in your presence. And he'll do it. Your every thought will become God if you do this. And so I just question, no matter what you go through this week, no matter what you've been going through, because remember, Paul and Silas went through, they were in a big hardship, and they still prayed and still was singing to God. Go home and listen to the music. Listen to his groove, as I like to call it. God's groove for your life. God's groove for your just everything. And you watch not just you, but your spouse and your kids and then your coworkers will start listening to this music. Me and a guy from the fire department, his name's Jeff Rogers, me and him have been praying for this one guy for a long time. And I went out to Station 4, and this guy was out there, and Jeff told me, he's like, man, he's getting it. He's getting this. He's asking questions. So just maybe it's good that you went out there because maybe you can work on him. And so I was out there, and it was like maybe 3 shifts because I wanted to kind of settle into that station or whatever. And I went out there, and I took my guitar, and I went out in the bay, and they've never heard me sing at Station 4. And so I went out there in the bay, and I was playing, and this guy just comes creeping around the truck. He says, man, I'm impressed. I said, impressed about what? He says, man, I didn't know you could sing like that. I said, I can't at all. I said, it's all God through me. And so he noticed that all the songs that I was singing had God in it. And he noticed there was a difference about it. So he calls his girlfriend up, puts her on speakerphone, and says, hey, play her a song. I was like, what song you want me to play? He's like, I don't care, just play one. So I played one, and his girlfriend got it. His girlfriend was like, man, that is good. And so then he asked me to play more and play more and play more. So a few weeks went past, and we went to Dairy Queen to eat. And we were talking, his girlfriend works EMS, and so she actually came and met us. And they were talking about Bible studies and devotionals and stuff that they do on their phones. And so when we got back to the station, I went and I got my shower, and he went and did his report, and he come out, and we sat in there, we was watching a movie or something, and he says, man, I don't understand this. I said, what? And he showed me his phone. He was reading Genesis in King James. Everyone on the fire department knows this guy is not like that. Like, it's complete opposite. But this guy was asking me questions about this whole chapter, and he's like, man, I just don't understand it. Can you explain this to me? And I'm like, through the prayers, through listening to music, because his girlfriend listens to worship music, through being around people like that, has changed this guy. God's working on this guy's heart. And it all revolves back around God and the worship that he gives, whether it's through prayer, whether it's through a sermon that he heard, or the music. But if he would keep listening to rock or country or whatever, he would never get to that point, would he? I don't think so. So to conclude, I just want to say that I really think that taking a challenge like this of, hey, I'm listening to worship, I'm listening to godly music, will change an attitude, definitely. Change the way that you think, the way that you just do everything. So just take that challenge today. That's all I got.
Pretty good job, huh? All right, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. So I'm in the mood to sing. Patrick, you going to sing with us? Okay, here's what we're going to do. This section right here, I want you to sing. And what you're going to sing is, Lord, prepare me. Start right now. Well, only some of you did it. Some of you are like closed lips. All right. So all I want you to do is, Lord, prepare me. That's it. Hold on. Shh. Quit being so rebellious. No wonder your dad doesn't like you. All right, so they're going to be over there, Lord, prepare me. And then you guys are going to be singing, to be a sanctuary. Good. Yo, dude. Just because you carry a badge now doesn't scare me. All right, so let's go back. Ready? They're going to sing. You're going to do. Okay, good. You guys are going to sing, pure and holy, tried and true. All right, now let's do it again. You guys are going to sing. You guys are going to do. And you guys are going to do. Okay. Then y'all, now this is where you can step in now. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living. And then everybody's going to sing, sanctuary for you. Y'all got it? All right, I'm going to let you guys do it twice, and then I'm going to step over there. You do it twice, you do it twice, you do it twice. Then we're all going to do it all at one time. Ready? All right, good. One more time. Gosh, you guys are so good. Come on. One more time. Awesome. You guys. One more time. Good deal. One more time. Mark was dancing. All right, you guys. Come on, louder. Come on, Kayla. All right, we ready? All right, let's put it together. Everybody. One more time. Man, it was beautiful. Come on, everybody. Now let's put them all together. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you. One more time. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you.